What is cracking, guys? Omar Esaf here. In this video today we're talking about abs. Everybody at some point in their life will want a six-pack, will want abs. This video today specifically is going to address a lot of the bullshit myths I see out there that are being perpetuated by people that either don't know what they're talking about or they want to sell you some shit. So let's get started. First things first, your abs are largely genetic. They're what you do, they're the level of leanness you are, and they're your genetics. And people don't talk often enough about genetics because it hurts. The truth sometimes hurts. Here's what I mean. You see a lot of articles, people talking about, lengthening your abs, getting a smaller waist by training somehow your TVA, as if the increased, muscle size of training your TVA is gonna offset, your organ protrusion that you have going on. When I say genetics play a huge role when it comes to your abs, here's exactly what I'm talking about. Your torso, you can't influence its length or its width, and therefore how your abs look on your torso, a large part is genetic. So when they say, oh, do this exercise to lengthen your abs, you can't do that because your torso is already a predetermined length. If you, have a wide waist, wide hips, most likely your abs are gonna look a little blockier. Now the things certainly that you can do, they're gonna be wider in appearance, but you could do things like train your deltoids, your lats, so you try and give yourself more of a V taper, but your torso, the shape of your torso, is determined by your genetics. Something else I see repeated all too often, do this exercise to decrease the size of your waist. As if, doing a vacuum pose and training your TVA, which will increase the size of that muscle, will somehow offset, the distrusion of your actual organs itself. Somehow, training that muscle will decrease the space of your internal organs. It makes no sense. If you want to decrease the size of your waist, there's only one way to do that, and that's reducing your body fat levels. And once again, I can't stress that enough. A solid six-pack or solid abs, a large component is how lean you are, because it doesn't matter, if you've been training hard, you've been getting results, you actually have built up sufficient, hypertrophy in your abdominal area. If you're not lean enough, you won't be able to see it. Something else I see no one mention is that the photos online, on Instagram, the magazine covers, they are idealized photos. And what I mean, the lighting's perfect, the angle, even how their underwear is worn where it's lower gives that illusion of a longer set of abs. So trying to compare your abs to this idealized version is simply not fair. Another myth that's simply not true is shaping your abs, somehow changing the actual shape of your abdominals. You can't do that. If you don't have symmetrical abs, that's genetics. I'll give you a classic example. There's many bodybuilders that don't have perfectly symmetrical abs. Serge Nubret is one that comes off the top of my head. Your abs might be slightly separated, one might be higher than the other. You can't choose how they look. The final point I want to mention is that training only compound movements might not be sufficient to get you the six-pack that you want. Let's not get it twisted. I am the biggest proponent of compound movements. You can certainly get a very solid six-pack just by, doing the bench press, the front squat, the back squat, the deadlift, and the overhead press. There's no doubt about that. And all too often, if anything, we see guys train their abs too often. What I'm saying is that, depending how far along you want to take your set of abs, you might need additional isolated abdominal work to bring about additional hypertrophy. It's up to you and how far, along you want to take your set of abs. That's it. That's the video, busting all kinds of myths when it comes to training your abdominals or getting a solid six-pack. Now I got a question for everyone because I like reading the comments. Do you train your abs directly? Post in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like this damn video. Yeah, I'm talking to you. And I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!